to, actually I'm almost a low tide. This is low tide and we still have, you know, the water hitting the rocks.
Robert Stabenow is captain of the Imperial Beach Lifeguards.
As you know, and why IB, you're here talking to me, is because IB is vulnerable. IB's highest point in the whole city is 40 feet. So the whole area is low-lying.
Stabenow grew up in IB and has been a lifeguard there for 37 years.
It used to be, yeah, we get coastal flooding, like I said, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but it was every 5 to 10 years. We're expecting that pretty much every high tide in the winter months.
Stabenow is in charge of fortifying the city when flooding is expected. He's no climate expert, but says he's seen the flooding get worse over time.
In the past, we had open areas, so we'd have coastal flooding, but it'd slowly come up and over the top. And it wasn't as significant. What you're seeing now, the amount of water that comes up over the top is, you know, flooding the whole street with seaweed and other debris and sand.
In some areas of Imperial Beach, the water literally goes right up to homes. And Stabenow says people living with a waterfront view do not want to have to move their homes.
That's a very touchy subject, and relocation of residents and their homes, and some of these people have been in their homes for their life and they don't want to be relocated. You know, I'll get relocated when the ocean tells me it's time to be relocated. I don't want somebody telling them they have to. So it's a difficult decision. If that was my home, I'd probably feel the same way. So, but when you can't control Mother Nature, but you can prepare for it.
Part of that preparation involves creating sand barriers, but
right now in Imperial Beach, and in fact all of Southern California, our beaches have a sand shortage.
Robert Guza is a sea level rise expert at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography.
Beaches in Southern California can no longer maintain themselves. They're not going to be sandy beaches. We can either maintain them and expect to pay the money or not have sandy beaches.
He says the flooding might look bad now, but with sea level rise expected to increase dramatically in the coming decades, the lack of sand could make that flooding catastrophic.
Rising sea level will take a chronic problem, shortage of sand, and see how bad it can get by just flooding the beaches on top of it that are already sand-starved.
Where are you going, bud? Do you not have your snack?
One school in Imperial Beach is taking this reality and turning it into a teachable moment.
So you got the Otay River coming right here up against the school right up to the bay. The Otay River has a little outlet right here, which goes into a pipe, a drain pipe, that goes across the soccer field and pops up in the corner.
Kevin Court is principal of Bayside STEAM Academy, which has K through 6th grade students. When the San Diego Bay floods, an outlet pipe dumped salt water in a back corner of the school.
At a high spring tide several times a year, when the water flows up this way, it bubbles up in the back corner, and you can feel the salt crunch under your feet when you walk on it.
The school usually has this area blocked off, but it's been letting 4th and 5th graders near the area to track the overflow.
It's just something that's been a part of our school, but when we have a phenomenon like this happening in our backyard, let's learn about it. Let's learn about elevation and contour lines.
Back at the water, Stabenow says he's seen the beaches getting smaller.
Every year it seems like less and less comes back.
Stabenow says in years past the city has paid to dump additional sand on the beaches, but it doesn't stay there for long.
That's what's the biggest concern, you know, for me and the lifeguards is no beach. You know, if there's no beach, then there's no people here. You know, people don't come to the beach if there's no beach. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point.
Seawalls and other barriers are the best protection against high tides right now. Climate scientists say the ocean has risen by nearly a foot in IB over the past century, but it could rise by several feet before this century is done. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.